So the big question was dining. Dining.
Oh, that's a big question.
And I'm gonna
95%
right.
of this cruise.
And you look beautiful in that shirt. You look like a munchkin. You look so low.
That's why I was like, I could do that.
Yeah, just come wheel on the end. You ready? Yeah, I was already taping. Travelers, Todd and Michelle here. We're traveling around Disney.
I'm not comfortable.
She's got to get comfortable. And we're here to talk about today.
Look, I look huge.
No, you don't.
This shirt makes me look bigger than I really am.
The shirt looks great on her. Tell her. Tell her it looks great.
No,
Watch your top. This is an adult. This is a kid-friendly station. We're here to talk about our Virgin Voyages cruise aboard the Valiant Lady. And you guys have been watching our series and had asked some questions.
Wait, I'm not comfortable.
Okay, we'll be right back. There we go. There we go. We got her settled. She got her snacks. She got some drinks. She's in here for the long haul. And I'm going to kick the table there. So I'm sorry about that. So we're going to talk about what we liked and what we didn't like about the Virgin Voyages. And some of the questions that you guys had for us.
You have a whole page of notes.
I do have a whole page of notes. I have learned, Michelle has taught me, always be prepared and always have your notes. Sometimes, I like to wing it, but not today. And now the cats are going to join us. The cats are here to join us.
These are the peelable ones.
Wait, what are these?
These are the peach.
No, what are these called? What is this candy called?
Peelers.
Peelers. Of course, we've seen it on TikTok.
Well, we found them at Cracker Barrel.
No, Benjamin, I don't need your help. Thank you. I can do this all yourself.
You're going to have a lot to edit.
Okay, so we were on a 4-night Virgin Voyages cruise on board the Valiant Lady, and our 2 ports were Key West and Bimini. And it was actually the Bimini Beach Club, their private beach club there on Bimini Island. So that was our 2 areas that we stopped at. First, we went to Miami. Talk about the experience to Miami, Michelle.
They're doing a lot of construction on the road, always. I don't think I've been to Miami when they're not fixing something. But somehow we got diverted off of the freeway into downtown Miami, which actually turned out to be a better way to go.
Much better.
We went kind of early, and I'm not sure if it was the only ship sailing that day. It kind of looked like it. There was nobody there. So the downtown, you just kind of take a right and a left, and it takes you to the back side of the port. Mm-hmm. Super easy to get there. I think from now on, that's the way I'm going to go. Instead of trying to find the tunnel location, just get you off the freeway. But anyway, so that was hardly nobody was there. So we got to the parking garage G, which is what feeds the V terminal, which is Virgin's
terminal.
Port
right.
Terminal. Parking is pretty straightforward. You just get your bags out of the car, go downstairs, cross the road to the Virgin front, and we got the Splash of Romance package added onto our trip total, which was another $250. So all of us, we had it on ours, and then we got it for Beck and Mike's ticket, so we could all stay together. And it afforded some benefits, which I'm sure you've talked about, and we'll reiterate
on this video. But one of the main benefits were...
Yeah, it was great. We basically just walked in. We got there about 1:45, which they start boarding at 1:45, and they take the rock stars first, which the rock stars is like a certain level of suite. It was substantially higher than the room we got, which is why we chose not to, advance. There are some benefits to that too, like it comes with a fully stocked bar. So price-wise, it's probably a good deal. It was just way over the price.
Private areas on the ship and stuff like that. So.
But after they boarded, pretty much, we didn't even have to wait. We just kind of kept walking right on into the terminal. And
is it the Taste of Romance? What is it?
The Splash of Romance.
And I always called it Taste of Romance. But I think me and Michelle both highly recommend that package.
The only thing we did is I added the Wi-Fi, the premium, onto our package, which was $75 for the entire voyage for the room. So however many people you have staying in your room can all benefit from that. But going again, I probably wouldn't.
No.
I don't think we got really any extra benefits. Okay, well, the next step after embarkation is we got our bracelets, which they look crazy, but they loop around and get back in this way. but they all have a little saying on it. And we all ended up with the same saying, which was kind of cool.
What's the saying?
Make a splash.
Could that be because we were the Splash of Romance packages?
Possibly, but my first one before, I didn't get 10 steps before I broke mine. Actually, I didn't break it, Becca did. So I was trying to adjust it and it popped.
Yeah, it snapped.
But mine said something about like naughty something. But when I got my second one, it said make a splash.
Probably fit her a little bit better the
they
first one.
ask you, are you okay with the saying? So
Yeah,
okay,
just leave
so
it
I'll
right
just
there.
put that right there.
There we go. So the next thing I would ask, let's just go ahead and talk about your dislikes. What were the dislikes
Well,
of this
because the
ship?
next part hit us like a brick wall.
Yep.
It was very hot on the ship. And
Yep.
I'm not going to say warm. It was warmer than warm. It was a
Yep.
little hot. I did say something on my survey for the first night, thinking it would go out into the, the wild blue yonder. It did not. Your room stewards, I guess, look at the surveys that you do. At the end of the day, they'll send you a survey to fill out. And of course they called right away and they were trying, I guess, to figure out, was it an isolated, like our room? But I kept trying to explain to them it wasn't our room. It was the whole ship. I do kind of understand. It's a very open ship. Of all the ones I've been on, and I've kept complaining that sometimes when you go on the bigger ships, you forget that you're on a cruise. If you can't feel the water, you don't feel the motion, you might as well be at a resort somewhere to me. This was the opposite. I actually knew every minute, every step, there's windows that you could see outside. You can see the water.
Water views abound.
Yeah, there's exits to where you can get out onto, they have several promenades that go all the way around the ship and the back, of course. And I think that just lets the air and the heat in. It was hot. And Todd did remind me, I guess the other cruises we went on was either early summer.
Right. This is our first summer
fall
cruise.
So I wasn't prepared for that. But by the second day, I would say they got the ship cooled back down again to where then even the room, all parts and pieces were cool. But my only thing would be that initial, like the first night, I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I hope it's not going to stay this temperature the whole way. And it didn't. It got cooler. We had our fans. We traded them in. You guys saw the white one that we usually carry. That's on
I gotta
a
show
stand.
the little one. I gotta find that fan.
Well, I didn't like it. I liked the original one.
See, I like the little one. I thought it was great.
I didn't like the little ones. They were little USB. And if, it's small, so it basically just hit one section.
I just need the noise.
It didn't move the air in the room like the other one did.
That's true. I agree with you there. So
kind of going along to that.
Any other dislikes?
Well, as far as what we purchased, and I will say the room type that we got a balcony, and the kids got an inside room. The inside room was smaller than ours, but I still think it was adequate. If I got an inside room, that's exactly what I would expect it to look like.
Right, I agree with you there.
Mike's a bigger guy, as you can see. He's taller, and he didn't have any problem at all in the room, him and Beck. The shower, the toilet area, all that was fine. If I went again, I'm not so sure I would get a balcony. I may get a porthole.
Right.
I want to be able to see out. But literally, I went on the balcony probably twice. And then I wish I wouldn't have, because you have to open your door. It lets the air in the room. And then it got a little warmer. So I would have been just as happy in a porthole just to see outside.
Okay.
I don't think I'd want an inside room, but a porthole would be fine.
So that's pretty much all of your...
I think that's it.
Okay.
That's all the complaints.
I had one besides the heat. I wish there... Now remember, this is Virgin Voyages. If anybody remembers Virgin Records, it's music. A lot of music on this ship. There's music everywhere you go. I was looking for like a little quieter space so I could do some work and stuff like that, but there was music everywhere. I know the room would probably be a quiet space, but if it had like a library or something like that, I thought it would have been nice. But other than that, there were no other complaints I had of this ship.
Yeah, they do, unlike other ships, they do pipe music into most of the common areas. I say most, but I'm pretty sure all. Everywhere we went, you could hear some type of music. Not that it was a bad thing. I loved it. I think the music selections, they had something for everybody. So I didn't really... Speaking
of the music selections, it changes in areas. Every area you go, the music changes. It's not the same.
No, it matches like where you're at. If you're in the game room, it's going to tend to be more upbeat and dancey.
Yep.
We were in one of the bars a lot. I call it a bar, but it's like a bar area, and it's got tables.
I think I called it the game room on the videos.
Well, the game room is like where the games were.
Yeah.
Where the arcade.
Well,
is called the game room.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I just
actually
added it all together.
But we were on the front part of the ship, and on the right-hand side, they had like a long kind of half moon type bar that had what I would call upper cocktails there. You could get like the bourbons and the vodkas and the this and the that.
Yeah.
And they had some tables and chairs, and that's where we sat and played Uno.
Uno.
So if you're looking for like a quiet spot, that was kind of like the quietest that we could find.
Yep, I agree with you there. Okay, so that is our dislikes. So now we will talk about our likes. This cruise for us was our first Virgin Voyages cruise, and this was Becca and Mike's second one, and they were aboard the Scarlet Lady the first time, and the Valiant Lady this time. They're the exact same ships. All 4 of the ships in this fleet, except for the Brilliant Lady, because her lifeboats will fold in, are all the same. They're laid out the same and everything like that.
The Resilient Lady, Scarlet Lady, and the Valiant Lady.
Right.
Once you get the lay of the land, it's the same on all the ships.
Exact same thing.
Which I found to be nice. I think the elevators on ours, they had 2 sections. They had the aft elevator and then the mid. The mids tended to be a little bit more crowded. We used the aft elevator. Our room was literally right around the corner from it.
Wonderful.
So you could really get to any parts of the ship easy.
Let's talk about one of the first perks we got, not only with the package, but the blue club level.
Can I say before we get into the levels, because it's kind of not a pro or a con, but I had so many people when we booked this, and even from work, we had some that kept saying, oh, I can't wait to hear what you think about the ship. I can't wait. And, you know, you look at the ads online and you always see like they have the diva pictures. So they have like, it really makes you feel like this is, and I think we all know that Carnival tend to be the rowdier crew as far as partying and things like that. Not taking into account Margaritaville. But let's say Carnival. But Virgin, I had this picture in my head like it was, you know, first off with the pineapples and the swinger thing, you're going to have lots of weird kind of invitations. You're going to see lots of weird people, sick or weird or eccentric, I should probably say. More culturally diverse people, which not even culture, but anyway. Okay, so I'm going down the rabbit hole. I thought it was going to be wild and like, oh my gosh, I was going to be shocked and I'm not going to be able to handle it and this and that. It was not that at all. It was not at all. Not at all. This cruise was very laid back. It was very calm. It was a nice relaxation time. I think if you want to take spots of it, like say the nightlife, and go to some of the events, like they had a singles party, which they do mostly on every cruise. And then some of the party type bar areas, you're going to get some dancing. Of course, you're going to get drinking along. I don't think it was anything. Kind of like
Scarlet Night is up by the pool. Everybody wears their pajamas are red and they go up there and it's a party.
It was fun. Like I thought it was fun. Like I thought to see, you know, people just sort of, you know, relax and calm. And I had said our first day or so on the ship, it was, you felt like you were part of the bigger group. You didn't feel like you were on the ship all by yourself. Like everybody in the elevator was like, hello, how's your day? What are you doing today? You know, what are you know, what's your plans? It was kind of like we were all kind of in it together.
Exactly.
So that was kind of a good feeling. So don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid that you're going to get caught up in something.
And remember the benefit of all Virgin Cruises, some people would think this is a benefit, is it is an adult only cruise. 18 and older on this cruise. There are no one below 18 on this cruise. So makes a big difference and in atmosphere. So
I'm gonna have a funny story. It makes me laugh, but we had gotten off the ship at Key West Day, and we went down to the southernmost point bar. Which by the time we got down there, we were like heat exhaustion. It was so hot.
Should have got a golf cart.
We got my suggestion. So we got some water. So we were sitting there. So I look over and there's chickens, because there's chickens all over the city. Basically, I don't know why, but there is. And there was the prettiest rooster I've ever seen. So I'm looking. And of course, here comes I think it was a little boy trying to get to the chicken. I was more shocked to see the child than I was the chicken.
We haven't seen a child in 4 days.
Oh my gosh, it's a child. But anyway, it was just funny because you sort of don't realize it until you realize it.
Right, exactly.
And it does make a difference. Like, there was no screaming, yelling, running.
And that's not from the kids. That's from the parents. We didn't hear any of that. So, you know. It was a very different cruise in that aspect. That aspect.
No strollers, no. It was just different. It was just, a lot of adults, and you could tell the ones we talked to had left their kids at home with moms and etc. And this was just their kind of vacay away from everyday life.
Right.
So it was nice. I think that's probably why most people just slept.
I agree. The next thing we're going to talk about is the club level, the blue club level, which we found out you have to cruise 3 times, and on your 4th cruise, you qualify for the club level that we were qualified for. How did we get qualified for that?
It's a loyalty program.
Loyalty program. There we go.
And they have a couple. At this time, up to a certain point, they will let you... what do they call that? There's
bridge
a word.
over?
Not bridge, because they don't take your points off of one cruise line, but they match it.
Recognize.
Like a loyalty match.
They recognize your loyalty.
So we were able to use our Disney points, our Disney loyalty program matched to Virgin. They will not match Royal. And I think it has to do with probably the cost of the cruise overall.
I agree with that.
So we were able to bring our points over, which put us in what they call the Blue Extras. They're regular people that go through and buy cruises that get to a separate, a certain point. You have to have, you said 3?
Fourth.
On your fourth cruise,
you become...
then you're considered a deep blue extra. So then you get some added benefits. For us, it was great because the blue extras, in addition to our splash of romance that we had purchased,
which made it nice.
Because we got like coffees every day, like a specialty coffee. So that was nice. We got laundry was included. We could get like 1 bag of laundry.
Mm-hmm.
And then that loyalty program. And if you go on the Virgin site, just click on the programs. It'll explain all of them. It's very simple to understand. But if you have, loyalty points elsewhere, do check into getting those ported over. Because again,
it makes a difference. It does make a difference.
Yes, I think we actually got early boarding for the blue extras as well as the splash.
We did,
but the kids didn't get it because they didn't have the
this was only their 2nd cruise. Now they got 1 more cruise, and then they will be eligible for this level. So definitely check into that if you're going to cruise Virgin. I think that's a great added benefit.
And I want to say that it's good through the end of this year. So if you're going to match, do it now. Because I don't think that's a program that they keep on going. It's a limited time offer. So if you're interested, now's the time to go.
Exactly. So the next thing we will talk about is the one thing you got to remember about Virgin. There is no tipping. This is a all-inclusive price. Your dining...
Which, full disclosure, though, we did tip the guy that took our bags out on the
that's the Port of Miami.
And we were going to take our bags on board like Beck and Mike did, but we wanted to test just to see kind of how long it would take them to deliver the bags to the room. And there was really nothing in it that we needed short term. So we just decided him and I, Pat, did ours, which I'm kind of glad I did now looking back.
Me too. I would not do it any other way now.
Yeah, it was really nice.
And the reason...
But it's right curbside. It's right at the curb basically. And we just tipped him just to make sure our bags got on the cart.
Because you got to remember,
we just tipped.
Virgin boards a little bit later. But the reason they do that, and you have to go at your time, your assigned boarding.
Yeah.
If you get there early, you're not getting on early like other cruise lines. It's not going to happen.
It's funny how you can watch just one cruise video about Virgin on YouTube and everybody tells you, but still on the videos are the people say, oh, we got there early.
On the cruise,
we could board early. You cannot board early.
Right.
You have to wait for your time.
Right.
And they do that for a reason, because they have to get everybody off the ship, clean everybody's room, get it get it ready for you to come on.
Right.
But when you walk on that ship, your room is available.
That's the key.
So
and that's the reason why.
We went straight to the room.
Yeah.
We walked through the ship, right
walked
to the room.
to the kids' room. They put their luggage in the room, walked to our room.
Yeah.
We went and ate, and within an hour, our luggage was there.
They were actually there. Becca said she saw our bags sitting like in a little off like porter area. So if we really had to have them, we could have got them from the steward.
I agree there.
But we just went ahead and left, and when we came back, they were in the room. So there's no worries there. The ship is only it holds 2,700 people, which is one of the smaller ones that we've been on. It's comparable to a Wish, right?
I
mean, the Fantasy and the Magic?
No, they're actually even bigger.
This was nice.
This was nice. We were at 2,650, and there were times on this ship I couldn't see anybody. Didn't nobody was around. So that was kind of nice. So that is another benefit of booking with Virgin, is all inclusive. So when you see the price, that is the price. Mm-hmm. And the way they do it is per cabin.
Yeah, a lot of
not
the
per
extras,
guest.
a lot of the benefits or amenities that you buy, you're purchasing for the cabin and not per ticket. So that's a thing.
Exactly.
So I guess the more people you have in the room, the better the benefit.
Right.
And
So let's get into what I'm sure
thing.
the biggest thing. But before we do that, if we can get you to hit that subscribe button down below, we greatly appreciate it. Big thumbs up on all the videos. Hope you're enjoying the series of this. The biggest question was...
And comment. Please don't be afraid to comment.
Comments.
That
comments.
shows engagement with all of us on YouTube, and they love to see your
YouTube
comments
YouTube loves
back.
comments.
Even if it's just a hello, don't be afraid, because
Happy
we really
face,
want to meet
anything.
you, and we want to know, more about you. So don't be afraid. It's a good space.
Exactly.
We'll all take care of you. We promise.
That is perfect. So the big question was dining. Dining.
Oh, that's a big question.
And I'm gonna
95%
Right.
of this cruise.
And I'm gonna answer to one of our questions. Steven asked, or he didn't really ask, he just made a comment. My wallet would hurt from all this dining. It's all included. Everything you guys have seen on these videos is included. No specialty dining at all
Your
on this
wallet
cruise.
will hurt when you get back. Trust me, you will feel it, because you're used to just getting whatever you want.
Yeah.
And then
And
our first night
want.
back, we were like, oh no, we don't get filet mignon tonight? Like, what's wrong?
I can't have a raspberry macaron? Where are they?
We had a couple days that Beck and I both were texting back and forth like, what are we going to do?
So the dining is the highlight of this cruise. We're going to go over the dining. The first place we ate, me and Michelle ate, the kids loved the galley. We'll just go ahead and say that. The kids loved the galley. That was their favorite spot.
The galley to me would be a close comparison to the Wish. Is it Marceline Market?
Marceline Market.
It's very close to that.
Yeah.
Just think of sectioned out, kind of similar to what you would see at a mall. You're going to have the noodles, like the Asian, your all-American, the breakfast,
which
the
you've
desserts.
seen in the tour. Yeah.
All of them are sectioned out.
Right.
And then basically you can do two things. You can either walk up and order and pick out exactly what you want, or you can just pick a table. They have a little card, which I'm sure you saw.
Yep, we showed that, the little flag.
You just flip the little flag up, and then the server will come and take your order. Again, no tipping. They get the same exact thing. They just go get it for you to save you.
Exactly. Whatever's on that menu. So it's like Marceline Market, but it's better. Yes, that's right. I said better. So let's talk about the dining options that me and Michelle had. We went our first night on board to Extra Virgin.
He told me not to show you, but I'm sitting here like, Julian.
I know.
I gotta show you. See that? That's my babies.
Those are her macarons. Do you got your other baby in there? The gnocchi.
Here's the splash of romance. If he didn't show you, isn't that cute? They were macaroons. They had like a little spice something on the top, just a little bit.
Two nights.
I did not get the gnocchi, the potato, which I thought potato gnocchi. Gnocchi is out of potatoes.
Okay.
So I was saying potato gnocchi, gnocchi, but it's like saying potato.
Okay, we're getting off track. We're getting off track. The Taste of Romance, we got 2 treats during the sailing that were delivered to the room, which were really nice.
Yeah, first night was the macaroons, and the second they had like chocolates. And they had like some gummy things and a white chocolate and a dark chocolate.
Okay, so let's talk Extra Virgin.
Okay.
We went
over the galley.
We went over the
Pretty
galley.
straightforward. That's
there are 6 dining restaurants. They are what I would consider on any other ship fine dining restaurants.
Right.
Something you would have to make reservations
have to pay extra for. Right.
And pay extra for. These you only have to make reservations for. And our first one was Extra Virgin. There are 6. Our first one was Extra Virgin, and it's Italian. Makes sense. What do you think about Extra Virgin?
We split up. Like him and I ate, and then the kids went and did their own thing, and sometimes we were all together. I loved Extra Virgin.
Yes.
I thought it was very nice.
100%.
Everything. I have to preface this with every single item that I got to eat was turned up a notch. Meaning to me, it was presented like it was a gourmet something, whether it was the entree or a side or the dessert. There was always just a wonderful presentation, like something that you would expect to see in a fine dining restaurant. I think the food was fresh. It was literally
top-notch. It was top notch.
Yeah, the chef put it from his pan directly to your plate. There was no sign of anything having to like sit and wait. It was hot. I think that's why I love the food. Most that I got was you had
always
to wait
come out
and let it
fresh.
cool.
Even with the galley, it was always fresh.
Yeah, it was always
fresh
really
and
good.
hot.
Their hamburgers, I have to say, were outstanding.
Oh my gosh,
For a
they were so
hamburger
good.
to feed the masses, it was not like a
No,
typical hamburger. Like I don't like the ones on, especially the Disney cruises, because they're very specific type of hamburger. This was literally like somebody patted it out and grilled it. It had even grill marks on it. They were delicious.
100%.
So back to extra virgin.
Extra virgin. Just
Loved
remember, these are their restaurants, but they act like any other dining on any other any other cruise. It's all you care to dine. So we were sitting there. A couple next to us was getting ready to get dessert.
You could.
And the guy said, instead of dessert, can I get another steak? And the guy said, sure, not a problem. We can do that for
now,
you.
he could have got dessert too. He just wanted another steak.
He just wanted another steak. So just remember, it's all included and it's as much as you can eat. And trust me, we've made as much as we could eat a priority on this cruise.
I love that they were very open with their pricing as well. Because although we say everything was included, they always had a wine pairing that you could buy in addition to your meal. So it was kind of like a prefix meal. But for most of them, it was like $25. And then you got a wine pairing. And then you would choose like your appetizer, your entree, and your dessert. You know?
Exactly. So that is an additional
And the
cost
ordering was
if
the
you want
same. It's not like you would order appetizer, they come back and get your order for they get your order all, at one time.
On any cruise, libations are an additional cost. It just happens that way. The next morning, we went to the wake for brunch with the kids. And Rebecca Nicole had talked this restaurant up like it was the best thing on the sea. I would probably agree with her.
Yeah. She gets the lobster chowder, I think it was, and then
lobster clam chowder.
The steak.
Yeah.
Which we did find out you have to get later for your brunch reservation because the steak isn't on the menu. But we happened to be late enough that the server was kind enough to go ahead and let us get the steak option.
And when she says steak, it's the New York strip, but there is a steak and egg option for breakfast.
I had the Benedict.
This was so good.
Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, that egg
Benedict
was like perfect.
Oh, absolutely wonderful. So that was the wake. Then the next
It'll
day,
spoil you. The food will
spoil
spoil you. It makes, and I hate to talk about this about other cruise lines, so I'm not going to say name, but it makes other cruise lines just seem like it's the standard.
Right.
It's just food. This was not. They actually took time to make it a adventure on its own.
I agree.
I can't say enough about the food.
We went to Razzle Dazzle one night for dinner, which is their vegan forward restaurant, but they do have meat.
They did because I had wings.
We had wings and lamb shanks.
It was really good.
Their cauliflower was really good. The Tennessee hot honey cauliflower, it was fantastic. The fried green tomatoes were good.
But what was so awesome about it is it sounds kind of weird, but sometimes we would have dinner and you would eat and try the items, and if you still felt like it wasn't quite enough, you just skip over to the galley the pizza place, and
Yeah, because their breakfast.
I never felt like, okay, this is the entree I have to order, and I'm locked into this. I could be a little more adventurous with my order because I knew, well, if you don't like it, there's other options available.
Exactly. We also went to Razzle Dazzle for brunch on our Key West day, which
the frittata. Becca got it, and I should have ordered it.
Yeah.
And I was trying to eat light because we were going off the ship to Key West, and I knew we'd be walking, but
that was a mistake. We should have ate. We should have ate because they had one of the best cakes I've ever eaten in my life on there.
Was good.
It was really good. So.
All these places too, for tips, if you can't manage to get a reservation for whatever reason, if you're a party of two especially, they do have bar areas and tables in the bar area.
Yeah, one of our fellow travelers, John, mentioned that he says because Michelle was trying her hardest to get back to Extra Virgin to have that.
I was trying to get the gnocchi out of the restaurant. I wanted Becca to try it because it's one of her favorites, and they just don't. It's not like the other ships where if you're in one restaurant you can order from the other.
Nope.
You've got to be in that restaurant.
That is
they try
exactly
to keep
right.
their food segregated.
That is exactly right. We'll talk about the wake for dinner. We're saving the last one that we went to, Test Kitchen, for last. Wake dinner. We got our champagne. Shake for Champagne is also a part of the romance package. which is a $105 bottle, which we've already priced on shore, so we know how much it was.
Yeah, it was so good. Well, we learned the trick because the night before we had gotten it in the galley.
Yeah, in the galley, the quick service area.
But we were near the fruit juices, so the guys were mixing and making mimosas with the orange juice and the champagne, or the fruit juice and the champagne. But kind of a funny thing, they have the one guy on our ship. We mainly just saw him, and they carry it, around their neck going to wherever because they have the glasses.
Yeah.
So he had given us our champagne the first night because we each had the Splash of Romance. We got it, and then Mike and Beck got a bottle. So we just decided we would call it together so we could all share, each other's. So the second time we got it, which was at the wake dinner, he only still brought 2 glasses because he doesn't know where he's going.
Right.
But he gets to the table and he's like, oh, he remembered us, and he's like, let me go get 2 more glasses. While he was gone, the server decided to take it upon himself to try and help with the champagne.
Big mistake.
So yeah, he takes it and he starts and he's talking to us. All of a sudden it's like, kablam, and the top comes off and it shoots up and it dented like the metal in the ceiling.
It sure did.
The whole restaurant was just kind of like, everybody just sat there for a second, like, okay, like who was shot? I think everybody's thinking like, okay, am I all right?
And I think the champagne guy was offended because he wanted to open the bottle.
And he came back and I was like, oh, you missed all the show. And he was really disappointed because he didn't get to open it.
And we didn't get to save that cork.
Bad.
We got the other cork up here, right there.
We don't even know where the cork went. It like somewhere is in the
Couldn't
restaurant.
tell you.
So cover your eyes when you get this.
Yeah, but they're really good about it. He was just talking to us. He got distracted.
Funny.
We distracted him. We did have dinner one time in the test kitchen, and this restaurant is probably
I loved it.
The most controversial of all the restaurants of the 6. There are 2 menus that rotate nightly. So we got the menu that you guys seen on the video. The restaurants, I will just say, all 6 of these restaurants are absolutely gorgeous. They're all their own design. It's like you're stepping into a restaurant, not on a cruise ship. So just remember.
The test kitchen was very much designed like a laboratory. Like the servers had like lab coats. But, Mike has the allergy to fish, of course. So on places like this, he'll just generally stay away from seafood in general, just to make sure that there's no, cross-contamination.
Right.
Which I wouldn't really fear for that here. Every time we ordered any type of food or drink, the first question from the server was, are there any allergies?
That is
so
exactly
they were very,
right.
Aware of who could have what.
It was a different experience.
He got different dishes.
Right.
Like his first 2
were vegan
courses were different.
Yeah.
Right.
They were different experiences. The food was a different experience. Not that it was bad. It just wasn't to my taste. Michelle liked more of it than I did.
Yeah.
I will have to say that.
The test kitchen
except for
definitely...
the scallop. That was a little different.
It definitely pushed your boundary on food.
That's a great
I think it was very inventive and very creative, the dishes that they had came up with. And for instance, like the scallop one came, it was a smoked, so they had it domed with the smoke. So when they took the dome off, of course the smoke aroma came up, which I love that. But it was a sous vide scallop. So that means it wasn't cooked to a texture that you're used to eating.
Right, it was cooked to a done temperature.
Yes. So it was very much like a raw experience, which for me was a texture issue. And I think all of us were kind of out on that one. I think Mike was substituted. He got some kind of a pastry. What do you call that?
I know one of them was
dough kind of pastry something.
Was a what is that? What's the yellow fruit? I mean, not the yellow fruit. The yellow, but squash. Squash blossom was one of them. Was one of his things that he got.
That was the pastry then.
Yeah.
Because the first one was eggplant. His presentation looked exactly like ours, except we had. Was it fish? What was our little square?
It was It was
Was it salmon?
It was something pate. I cannot remember.
No. I'm talking about the little squares. They were like in little squares with like the circle.
Oh, eel. It was
and
eel. There we
was
go.
Eggplant.
It was it. Yeah.
But his eggplant looked just like our eel. We even had a second look.
Right.
Just to make sure.
We didn't get to go to the Pink Agave, which is a Mexican restaurant, and we didn't go to Gumbe, which is a Korean
you just totally changed the subject.
No, I didn't. But we wanted to try a test kitchen for this reason, because we felt it was a little experimental. and we knew we had the galley in our back pocket.
Beck and I
So
laughed
we-
like the whole thing. It was
These
so funny.
two.
We had the best time. I think it was laughing at them because they just were having a hard time trying to find. And I say them, him and Mike.
Until we
trying
got to
find
the
something.
desserts. That was the
But
best sorbet, one of the best.
The chicken was really neat.
It was
like
good.
they had
Yep.
the chicken logs that were like the whole chicken they called it.
that
So
was
you had
good.
like white meat, dark meat, and then the chicken skin on the top. And then they had a pate
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
you-
No, that wasn't for me.
I thought I was good.
I was getting into the jalapeno sorbet over watermelon and strawberries, which
That was very
fantastic.
good. It was a little heat
Yeah.
in there that you didn't expect.
Yeah.
It was similar to my basil gelato with the strawberry soup that we had
Right.
at
So
Turf Club.
the fine
Very similar.
dining on this ship, and I call
Anyway,
it fine
outstanding.
dining. It's all included, no additional cost. We haven't even gone over the cost yet, but no additional cost at all on any of these. So
And then so we still have gun bay to try,
Yeah.
which is more of like a
Korean barbecue,
right, Korean bark, and then the
pink
pink agave, which is their like Mexican inspired.
Right. So they have Italian, Mexican.
They have a little spot in the galley that you can get like tacos and things from. So we had already kind of had some
Right.
Mexican, so we opted for the other
Right.
restaurants.
And one of the other things we didn't even get to try, one of Michelle's favorite things to do, is room service. Didn't even get room service.
We didn't.
Nothing. And Becca loves it on
I
there.
have never
so.
seen Mike tap out of food. And
Yeah.
The last night we were all like, of course we had all hit it earlier, and we were at the wake dinner, and he just kind of said, "I'm done." He's like, "I can't even, not even dessert." Like it was just so much food. Like I've never, been able to have a cheeseburger at 1
I know.
morning.
And
it
it's
was
nice.
delicious.
And it's nice. So remember, on the Virgin Voyages, if you're going to book a cruise, make your dining reservations. And if you don't happen to get them, you can do walk-ups. Bars usually first come, first served. So John, thank you so much for that tip that you had sent in to me. So we will definitely remember that for next time. The other questions you guys have been wanting to answer, and we're going to give it to you now. But remember, hit that subscribe button down below. Michelle's told me I got to say that more.
Thank you
So-
for all of your comments and things that you have done, all your support, your
Yes,
t-shirt
thank you so
orders.
much.
We appreciate
Our channel
that.
members, thank you for
It
that.
helps get our name out a little bit. I think we'd like it to get some exposure. I think our channel is very what is the word, niche related.
I think we're on the verge of blowing up. How about that?
I don't care about
Don't know
blowing
about
up.
that.
I just know with your guys' help, sharing it on your other social media, helping us kind of, just get us out there will help with our YouTube algorithm a little bit.
I agree. So
we appreciate you for the memberships. Anything that you do for us, know that, we greatly appreciate
the
that.
Facebook family group, thank you over there also for sharing all of your adventures along as
love
with
that
ours
group.
adventures. We do love that. So we'll get right into it now. We're going to get into the cost of this cruise. All included. Remember, all inclusive. No tipping, no nothing. All inclusive. Beck and Mike's inside cabin was $1,550 for the 4 nights. That's all it cost them, was $1,550. Now we did add the package on.
Splash of Romance
Splash
package.
I still have a problem with that.
That was another
$250. So you're looking at theirs $1,800 for their 4-night cruise. And that was the bottom line, everything done. Mine and Michelle's with the balcony was $1,850 plus the $250, so it's $2,100 for our cruise. And that was it, except for parking, which was $22
You
a
have to
night.
pay for parking anyway.
Got to
if
do
you
that
take a car.
anyway, and it's actually cheaper in Miami than it is in Port Canaveral. Don't
It was
understand that.
$88 for
Yeah.
the duration for the 4 days we were
So-
there. 5 days actually.
I think for
It was
$2,100,
a 4-night, 5-day
this
vacation.
cruise was absolutely fantastic. The next question is would we do it again? Michelle, would you do it again?
Absolutely. We're looking already, actually.
100% we would do it again. How does it rank? We've taken 8 cruises. I counted up. What's it rank as your, where's it, what number is it? Go ahead. 1 through 8. 1 through 8.
As overall, as
Yeah.
far as everything,
Yep.
I would have to say it's probably our number one.
Yeah.
It's my number one cruise.
I would put
So
our
far.
fantasy 5-night cruise in number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we didn't go to any of the shows, we didn't go to a lot of the parties, we still had the cruise we wanted to have, and that was the benefit of this cruise.
Well, Key West to me was always, kind of like a bucket list. I always wanted to get down there. I went when I was little, but I just wanted to go back.
And I've never been.
I would like to go back specifically just for Key West. Even if we did the cruise again, I would spend more time in Key West.
I would get her a golf cart this time. I promise. I would get her a golf cart.
Would.
Because
trust me, I let him know that we should have gone.
Oh, yeah. Trust me.
We could have seen more of the, I hate to call it island, but the island. Right. We could have seen more.
Yeah, and, it's technically an island.
If anybody wants to go in on a house on Fisher Island, let me know, because,
So this cruise was perfect for us. So
it was definitely a foodie's cruise. You have to just love and enjoy food, and we do. And it was nice to compare that.
The ice cream. Oh, my gosh. I didn't even talk about the ice cream. My favorite spot. The coffee place with all the pastries. We could go on and on.
Yeah.
The dock. The little Greek nights at the dock.
It's, the vacation price, it's just worth it to try it. I think for basically half the cost of a basic Disney cruise. I think that's...
you said that. Because I was like, okay, let's go compare Virgin Voyages. $2,100. I was like, okay, I want to go on the Utopia of the Seas.
They're still shocked because they thought I was going to say Margaritaville is my number one.
No, we knew that one happened. I've always wanted to go on Utopia. I think I finally talked Michelle into it. I'll
try it, but I'm not happy about it. But I'll try.
Okay, so
because I wasn't too impressed on Allure.
Okay,
so I'm not looking forward to the bigger.
And Utopia is just a bigger Allure.
I
Second
think
biggest
I'm a
ship in the world.
Ship sailor.
I probably agree with you. So I found a cruise at the end of September to the 1st of October.
On Utopia.
4 nights of the seas on Utopia. The package the price of the cruise is $1,503. Okay?
Okay.
Sounds like a great deal. Oh, wait. You got to add your tips. Wait, that's a balcony.
Okay.
Oh, but they get to pick your balcony, so it could be inside or outside.
No, I don't like that. I want to pick.
Plus, you got to add your tips on there, which are another $144.
Right.
And don't forget the insurance, which is $128,
right.
Which brings your price to $1,775 for your cruise. That's all in. Here you go. Oh, wait. Me and Michelle like to drink sodas. On the Virgin Voyages, it's all included. With our package that we would get there, we would have to add another $100 on Royal Caribbean. So their cruise would be $1,875, where our basic cruise on Virgin Voyages was $1,850. So they're charging us $25 more.
And how many people does that hold?
That holds about 7,000 people. So just because cruise prices look good, by the time you get to the end, sometimes they're not always as good as you think.
I fought Beck about that. She tried and tried, and every time I looked up Virgin, I was like, yeah, but they're...
So in arguing with Becca, she proved her point that this was a great price. So me and Michelle believe this is a great cruise line for everybody. You make the cruise that you want to make it. If you want to have a great partying time, that's the cruise. One other thing, there are no drink packages on this cruise. You can buy a drink. You can start to buy a drink tab. So for every 100, they give you more money on top of it.
You get like 10% off if you pre-purchase it. So like if you put $100 on your bar tab, it's only $90 because you get
an extra $10. So it is well worth it. We cannot wait. We've already looked at other itineraries. We do know in 2026 they will be making an Alaskan cruise. So we are looking forward to that aboard the Brilliant Lady. Would love to take that cruise. So all in all, Virgin Voyages is a great option. Don't you think so?
I was really surprised. I really tried very hard to go into it with no expectations. I was just going to let whatever happen. And I was pleasantly surprised that it wasn't, we fit in. Like I've seen, there were people on this ship that, a handful that were probably over 80. There was probably 30 or 40 that were like over 60. The majority, I would say, were between like 30 to...
I didn't even get in
30 to 50 was the majority of people.
Right.
There were some younger ones, but not too many.
There were folks in ECVs, electric wheelchairs, stuff like that. So it's accommodating to everybody.
What is kind of telling is that in the Splash of Romance package, we got a 3-hour session in the spa. We didn't even go. Yeah. I didn't even
couldn't even tell you what the spa looked like.
I can't tell you what it looked like. I felt bad because we wanted to kind of show you guys, but we figured we couldn't film in there anyway
Right,
because
it's
we
the
can't
spa.
get in before it opened. But I don't miss it, and I didn't miss it. I don't feel like because we didn't go, we didn't get our money's worth. Like
we'll
just
make a little joke of the spa thing because our other two travelers that went with us, Becca and Michael, Becca did not like it at all. And Michael was trying to recover from his old football injuries. He loved it. He thought it was the best thing in the world.
They have a lot of like eucalyptus and things that they put in the air down there. So of course I was a little afraid too, respiratory wise. But the point is I didn't miss it. It wasn't like, oh, I paid extra money for nothing. Like I would pay it again gladly. I think 100%. For a week vacation,
100%. Now that we know it's only a 3.5 hour drive from here.
You always learn on your first time through an adventure how to do it a little better.
Yeah.
I've learned that you can't repeat something and expect you're going to have the same experience that you had the first time. You just have to go and let things happen as they happen. Some of the funniest points of this cruise was unplanned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we talk about the net thing, which I still...
Yeah, that was in the video. You mentioned that. So remember,
yeah.
Like we said in the net, make sure you know there's people below you.
Kind of function like these days, like there's a camera everywhere.
Yeah, there you go.
Angle.
And there were plenty of other people, and we met fellow travelers on this cruise. So hello once again to our fellow travelers. Hopefully this video today has helped you decide if you want to take a Virgin, help you to plan on how you're going to take your Virgin cruise.
And that's kind of how little but yet how big the ship was, because we saw them the first 2 days and then didn't catch up with them again
until there was one night we were going into dinner and they were going into dinner, and then that was the last time we seen them. So
you can definitely get your space on here. We had the pool practically to ourselves the day we came back from Bimini a little early. Bimini was nice. It was actually more crowded than the ship, I thought.
My gosh.
I don't know where all these people came from, but
all 2,700 of them were there.
Yeah.
I think there was 50 left back on the ship, and 2,650 were
but that was an experience. It was just like their private island, so you're back to the beach and sand.
Yeah, so all in all, we had a fantastic time aboard Virgin Voyages Valiant Lady, and we will definitely cruise again.
Thank you for being patient, staying with us.
Thank you so much, guys.
I hope you learned something.
And until next time, travelers, like we always say, travel and adventure is out there.